Hello. So, Mrs Mummypenny Talks, the podcast, The Big Questions, is back on the 6th of January. And what I wanted to do is just to share with you a little bit about things to look forward to. And because I'm recording this on the 30th of December, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review of the year in my own Mrs Mummypenny way. Just to sort of, I think it would be really nice to say goodbye to the year because it's been up and down. There's been good and there's been bad, as I'm sure there has for many, many of us. But I just think it's quite nice to reflect back and share some things with you that you might not have seen on social media. But predominantly, I'm here to tell you that Mrs Mummypenny Talks is back. So there's quite a few episodes that I've already recorded that are in the can. So coming up in January, we've got episode 1 with Faith Archer, which is all about health and wealth as we get older, how to live well for longer. It's such a fascinating episode. And also we recorded it in a studio, so it's very, very good. And then we've also got an interview with Pete Matthew where we talk about A Man Is Not a Plan, an item very close to my heart. And then I've also got Michael Taylor from Shifting Shares, and we're talking about how to invest, but not necessarily in financial stuff, also like investing in yourself. Such a clever guy. In fact, everybody who I interview, I'm always astounded with, oh my gosh, you know so much stuff. You know so much more than I do. And we have the most amazing discussions. And then episode 4 is with lovely Martin James. Oh my gosh, we just had the best discussion about what is the price of love. I loved every moment of it. And it was just a perfect interview because we bounced off each other really well, even though it was all online. But so that's what you got to look forward to in January. But for now, it's just me with a blurred background sat under my stairs in my studio at home with a ring light and a mic, like Harry Potter, basically. So, 2025. So how I always talk to my friends when I do like a little summary of myself in voice notes. I have 3 friends who I voice note a lot. I sort of express everything in 5 ways, and I call it the tent poles. So the stable pole in the middle is always your health, you have to have that one going well because everything else sort of falls apart if you don't have that main stability of your main tent pole of health in the middle. And then my 4 other tent poles that hold up my tent are, and they might be different for you, but for me it's work/money, family, friends, and then love. So we got those 4, one tent pole in the middle, health, and then you've got work/money, family is another one, friends is another one, and then love is another one. So I'm just going to talk through them one by one and give you maybe a little bit of a taste of how well or how not well it's gone. And then what I also do is I give it a rating out of 10. So I've got a score then out of 5 things out of 10. So that's 50. And if you end up with more than 25 out of 50, then that's more than half. So I've turned it in maths and it makes me feel better. So let's start with health. So there's been some hugely positive stuff with my health. It started off well, then it went a bit shaky, very shaky, and now it's ended well. So I think I had the realization in March that I was destroying my body with sugar addiction and weight. So my weight yo-yos all the time. I have spent a lot of my life quite significantly overweight, obese even. But yeah, so I sort of just dealt with it between January and March. Didn't do anything. And then in March I was like, no, this can't carry on because my weight had got up to 95 kilos. Don't even know what that is in stone, but I wasn't happy. I really didn't like myself, and it was really affecting my confidence and my mental health. So I knew I needed to do something about it. And obviously, the whole world's talking about weight loss injections. So I thought, fuck it, let's just try it, see what happens for a few months, and let's see if it actually works, and if it works long term, because that's the thing that I'm interested in, because I'm not prepared to take a drug for the rest of my life. So I took Mounjaro between March and June, and I lost 15 kilos. Amazing. So got down to about 80 kilos, and then just stopped. I mean, I did peter it down. I mean, I only ever got up to 5 milligrams anyway, and just did the summer like I normally would, go on holiday, but things had changed in my brain. I wasn't turning to the sugar. I was making the right decisions with food, prioritizing protein, prioritizing sort of not as much red meat, and I was obviously starting to see it in my health. So my weight continued to go down actually. So now I'm about 75 kilos. So lost another 5 kilos just through my own doing. But yeah, the brain patterns, the triggers that have made me turn to food have somehow been switched off. So it's worked really well for me. So yeah, I haven't taken the injections since June. So it cost me, I think it was like £160 a month for 3 months. So what's that? Nearly 500 quid. But the health results are intense. So like I'm now 75 kilos. I think that's still classed as overweight for my height, but I'm a size 12. I literally don't give a shit. My cholesterol was 6.5. That's now down to below 5. I just feel better. I feel happy. I feel so much just the mental health aspects of how I feel about myself are huge. So all in all, very, very positive impact. So then sort of we get to sort of September, October time, and my hormones just went all over the place, and they do quite regularly. It's just the perimenopause. I've been in it for 4 years, since I was 44. I'm always trying to regulate it, and that's a conversation with my doctor where we put estrogen levels up and down. Also, I've had issues with bleeding all of this year, and I only really sort of dealt with it towards the end of the year. I don't know, fear, too much other stuff going on, but so my estrogen levels have been put up, which the main thing I was getting was insomnia. So put estrogen levels up, 3 months later it sort of fixes all those kind of things. So insomnia is an absolute killer. Like, you cannot function when you don't have enough sleep. So that seems to have been fixed. And then I have been bleeding all year. I've been in and out of hospital every week since the beginning of October. But it was finally all resolved after many ultrasounds and many blood tests, where it was as simple as my coil was removed and replaced with a new one, and that stopped the bleeding. My body's a little bit different to other people. I need to have the coil replaced every sort of 2 to 3 years. I don't understand why. The only thing that's still ongoing investigation wise is I'm being sent up to Adam Brooks, who are a specialist hospital for many things, and they're going to do a proper look into my blood, because I have low platelets, and I think they just want to actually work out why. And I've had it my whole life. I mean, they worked it out when I was 20, and I think they just want to be prepared for if something happens and I need some kind of blood product, or I need an operation. Because whenever I do have operations, even like removal of teeth, people really panic, because when you don't have enough platelets, your blood doesn't clot properly. So and that's how it's linked to all the bleeding issues I've had. So that's my health. So much better place now. I'm sleeping well, I'm not bleeding, and my weight is under control. So yay, ending 2025 in a good place for that. I've also done a lot on my mental health, because it has been a really tough year with other things that I'll go on to. So I have a monthly therapy / coaching session. I say slash because Jennifer is my therapist, my human givens therapist. She's also my high performance coach. So sometimes we delve into the therapy side, sometimes we delve into the sort of company high performance side. And I just quite like having the ability to look at one or the other because they're all so closely linked, because how I behave, how my mind behaves in a personal way is very linked to how I behave in a work way. So, yeah, I do invest money into therapy, even when I don't have loads of money, because it's really important to me. Started playing paddle, love paddle, dropped the gym, switched to paddle instead, which means that I'm not doing as many weights. So that is something that I am going to be picking up in January. If I've got one resolution, is to do weights at least once a week. Yeah, I do a lot of steps as well. I think I've checked my average for this year. I've averaged about 18,000 steps per day this year. So I'm quite happy with that. You burn a lot of calories as well. And it's so good for your mind as well, just to go out and, God, even if you're walking around the village, like put a podcast on and yeah, I love it. I love it. So that's my main tent pole. Let's give myself like maybe 8 out of 10 for that, because I have ended the year very well. Okay, so work and money. So work, it's been one of my worst years ever for work, as in turnover. I mean, that's not the only way you can measure your business, but it's how I earn money to pay the bills, so I need my turnover to be higher. Various things have happened which have affected my turnover and have meant that I've taken my eye off the ball. There's been quite a lot of indecision this year about whether I should, go back to the corporate world and get a job. So there's been sort of diversion of focus, because there's been a lot of panic about money because my business isn't turning over enough money. The consequence of that is that I've taken on debt, because there's been guilt around wanting to provide a wonderful holiday for my children, which won't be happening this year. So, I'm glad I did it last year. We had an amazing holiday, but it is the last time that will happen because I'm not going to get myself into ridiculous levels of debt for a holiday. Also, the kids are older, so not so much appreciation going on there. So yeah, turnover is really down, and of course costs are up. So we are living in a cost of living crisis. I've just republished my book, The Money Guide to Transform Your Life, into edition 2. So I've compared my 2025 life to my 2020 life. My monthly expenses, just mortgage, energy, food, the basics that we need to live, have gone up by £1,000 a month. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. Living arrangement wise, my boys have spent all of this year with me. So obviously huge expenses there. No support from their father. So yeah, work and money's been not great. I really focused in September on sorting everything out. So I've had an amazing 4 months with the business, like Telegraph articles, like loads of work with the BBC. I write magazine articles for Boundless magazine. I've done some really great projects with, I'm just looking through my list, like the FCA, that was a really good piece of work. Smart Energy GB, Octopus Energy. There's some really good pieces of work I've done, but the reality is I've not earned enough money, and my turnover's down by 50%. No, my turnover's down by a third. Yeah, do my maths. So yeah, I need to sort that out for 2026. But there are some big changes I'm going to make to my life, which will take a lot of pressure off. One of the biggest pressures for me, or two big pressures I've got, are debt repayment and mortgage. Oh, they're both debt repayment. So yeah, my mortgage is £1,600 a month and my debt repayments are £1,500 a month. So, and I've got a lot of equity tied up in my house because I kept the family home. I have fought for 5 years to keep this house and I can't fight anymore. So I'm going to sell it and release some of the equity, downsize, move a bit further north so I can get, still get a decent house, but for a lot less money. As long as I'm near a train station, it's fine because the boys get the train to school. And I just need to be a lot better with boundaries, particularly with family stuff. I'm veering into family here as well. There's a lot of work, money, family all intertwined, but it was always agreed that the kids should be 50-50 between their dad and I. And I've just sort of said, oh no, it's fine, you can just come live with me, or I'm just going to be a bit stricter about boundaries. Because I can't afford it. And the likelihood is I'll be moving to a 3-bedroom house rather than a 4-bedroom house. But we shall see. We shall see. The wheels are in motion. I've spoken to an estate agent friend who's going to help me sort all of it out. So yeah, not earning enough money, debt levels have gone up, as I wrote about for the Telegraph. I've made some silly decisions about money, like I went and got a new car. Never should have done that. Oh, it's really annoying. I mean, what's done is done. Mortgage has gone up by nearly £400 a month because of the interest rate changes. Thank you to that absolute fuck up of a, that Quartang thing that messed up the interest rates a few years ago. That has really screwed me. And yeah, because cost of living and my foot's hurting. I need to change position. Okay, so yeah, right. So if I'm going to rate worker money out of 10, I'm going to give it 4. Yeah, because I'm in loads of debt and I'm not managing, but I'm taking steps to change things. And then the family stuff, that's been really challenging, yeah, because having your children with you all of the time when you're a single parent is really, really tough. There's mess and they're not very good at helping with stuff at home. And there's rules and stuff that I have here and they don't like rules. Rules are important. Structure is important. And we've also had so I've got one child doing A-levels, one child doing GCSEs. So there's a lot of stress around that. One child absolutely hates school and is now on his third secondary school. So yeah, it's just really, really tough. And I'm not sure how we're going to get to the end of GCSEs, but take each day as it comes. And then likewise, my eldest is doing his A-levels. So hopefully he's had some nice time to reset over the Christmas holidays. He's doing his mocks shortly, and then maybe going off to uni, maybe not. We'll see what happens. He's applied to uni anyway. So yeah, family, I'm going to give it, it's not really in a great, wonderful place at the moment because there's just a lot going on. I'll give it maybe 5 out of 10. Then love. I mean, we could redress love into self-love because I am a lot happier with myself. But also love is about sort of intimate relationships with whoever you choose to have a relationship with. And it's been all right this year. It's not I'm not in a stable relationship. I was with somebody for 4 or 5 months. It was far from perfect. You only really see that when you come out of it. I haven't been on a dating app since the beginning of the year, so that's very positive. And what am I doing now? Yeah, I'm single. There we go. But I do talk quite a lot about it in the podcast with Martin coming out sort of towards the end of January. So be a lot more about love in there. And then my friends. Oh my gosh, my friends are my absolute saviour. Oh, I didn't give myself a rating for love. Well, if it's self-love, that's pretty high up. It's just the relationship bit's really down. Right, I'm going to give love 7 out of 10 because I'm quite happy being single. Very happy being single. It's less hassle. And then friends, my friends are always amazing. I'm so blessed to have such a wide network of people who look out for me. My close friends are the best. I've got 3 very close friends that I speak to most days. Becky, my original OG best friend. We've been mates since we were 11. And then Holiday, bestie Kate up in Leeds, and then Eve, who we bonded over getting divorced at the same time. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful to have my wonderful friends. And there's so many other people as well that I speak to, like I socialise with and, speak to on a very regular basis. My paddle friends like Kathy and Jem and Helen from uni, and Andrew, who helps me with work. And yeah, I have a lot of people that are very, very lovely. So friends is always 9 out of 10 because they provide me with the emotional support I need. I'm very, very grateful. So there you have it. Health, I said 8 out of 10. Work and money, I said 4 out of 10. Family, I said 5 out of 10. Love, I said 7. Friends, I said 9. So if I add all of that up, 8, I should have written this down. 17, 24, 28, 33. Yeah, 33. So that's like 66%. That's nearly an A. So the friends and the health stuff is really pulling up other stuff that's not as good. So it's just a really nice way to assess your life and actually realise that there's so much really good stuff going on. Yeah, we can always focus on the shitty, bad stuff, but there's always good stuff to be grateful for. Like, I have a roof over my head. I have food in the fridge. I have water coming out of the tap. I have access to debt. Like, even if I have to pay for the food bill with a credit card, I can do that. I've got equity in my house. I've got a decent pension in place. Like, things will be fine. Gotta have faith, said George. So yeah, that's what we've got coming up for Mrs Mummypenny in 2026. The wonderful podcast, my book being re-released for edition 2. So I've spent a long time updating that, like most of December. That took quite a long time just to update a book. I thought it would be a day. No, many days. And there's going to be an Audible version as well, which I need to make sure I finish recording, but that's nearly done. And yeah, the podcast will be out every week with loads of really, really cool guests. So I can't wait to share all of it with you. Thank you for your support, to my wonderful followers, for all the messages you send me. Whenever you DM me, it is me that answers. I really, really appreciate you following me for all these years, and hopefully a taste of the reality of my life. You appreciate seeing a little bit behind the curtain, or under the stairs, as I am now. Lots of love.